I was having a conversation with a friend. He and I both like studying 19th century black powder revolvers. He restores originals and I collect the reproductions. His channel is called The Wild Snapper. If you're into firearms history or you'd like some tips or tricks on restoring or repairing old firearms, some of that stuff even applies to modern firearms, I highly recommend his channel. I'll include a link at the end of this video. During that conversation, he asked if the cylinders are interchangeable between an Uberti 1851 Navy and a Pietta 1851 Navy. And I said, I don't know. And he goes, well, you've got one of each. Why don't you try? So, Wild Snapper, here's the answer to your question. So I've got the Leech and Rigdon reproduction by Uberti. This is a copy of a Colt 1851 Navy made by a Confederate company during the Civil War. And I've got the Pietta reproduction of the Griswold and Gunnison, also a company in the Confederacy that made a copy of the 1851 Navy during the Civil War. Now, both of these guns are new. I haven't fired them, and in the original take on this, everything got stuck. So that kind of happens with these. It takes a little bit of a break-in period. But I'll simply go ahead and remove the barrel assembly from the Leech and Rigdon. I'm going to go ahead and use a soft face mallet to tap the wedge here. Got to make sure it's out all the way. Sometimes it won't look like it's out all the way, and nothing will come loose. Should be able to. I'm going to use this trick that Wild Snapper showed in his video. I'll go ahead and lower the loading arm, and I'll put it on half cock and just line it up between two chambers, and should be able to. See, the wedge has got to be out all the way. Pop it right off, just like that. And the cylinder comes off. Here's a spare Uberti cylinder. Off camera I did test, and the spare works just fine. So here on the Pietta, I'll go ahead and give the wedge a tap. Oh, it's pretty tight. Okay. Last time what I had to do was put a screwdriver on the right hand side, put pressure on the spring, and simply just tap it. Tap the wooden handle with the soft face mallet. And there we go. I really don't want to do this because it could scratch up the gun, but as the wedge gets broken in, it'll come out a little bit easier, and the barrel comes off. And I'll just manipulate the hammer there to slide off the cylinder. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Pietta cylinder and the Uberti cylinder together. The Uberti cylinder is here on top. Now to me it looks like it's just a hair longer, but it could be an optical illusion. So I'll go ahead and I'll put the Uberti cylinder onto the arbor of the Pietta. Now I've got both guns on half cock because I'm just not going to be able to get it on there without doing that, and it just does not want to go up to the end of the frame. It does not want to fit. Let me put the Pietta cylinder back on. You can hear it. Clicks. It's in time. Well, let me try the spare Uberti cylinder I have. Yeah, it does not want to go onto that Pietta. Okay, let's try it the other way. So I've got the Pietta cylinder here. Here's the Uberti frame. Slides right onto the arbor. And I don't know. That might fit. Let's go ahead and see if the barrel will fit on there. There's just a slight bit of light there where the frame meets up to the barrel. So, I don't know. The hammer comes down on it alright. See if the wedge will go in. Yeah, the wedge is really tight. So that's telling me that that wedge is getting stuck in the arbor. Yeah, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to put this screwdriver in here onto the wedge spring. I don't even know if I can get it where I'm at. Now, let me just give it a little tap. Yeah, there we go. Pull that out all the way. Yeah, So no, the Pietta cylinder will not work on the Uberti frame. The Uberti cylinders did not work on the Pietta frame. So even though they look identical, they're not. But that was a fun little experiment to do, because sometimes parts are in stock and sometimes they're not. So it's good to know what might be interchangeable and what might not. Plus, I need to take these things apart a little bit more. They really need to get broken in. Okay, let's get that wedge in there. Yeah, let me just give it a little tap. Alright, Griswold's back together. Let's go ahead and put this on half cock. Put the barrel on the arbor there. Yeah, there's still that little bit of a gap there on the frame. There we go. Now there's no light. Just took a little bit. Now that wedge should slide in. There we go. And the leech seems to be in time. So it was a fun little experiment, but unfortunately the parts are not interchangeable. So hopefully that answered your question, and thanks for watching.